You didn't find this video by accident. Stop for a moment, really stop. Because if you're seeing this right now, your higher self guided you here for a reason. Every choice you made today, every scroll, every click, every distraction that pulled you away from what you thought you should be doing, all of it led to this exact moment. Think about it. Out of millions of videos, infinite content, endless noise, you landed here. This isn't coincidence. This is your future self reaching back through time, through the fabric of reality itself, activating something inside you that's been waiting to wake up. Something that's been dormant, patient, knowing that when the time was right, you would find your way here. And the time is now. Right now, in this very moment, your future self is reaching across time, pulling you toward a version of your life you can barely imagine yet. They're not some distant dream floating somewhere in the years ahead. They're not a fantasy. They're real. They're alive. And they're collapsing the timeline between who you are right now and who you're becoming. Here's what most people don't understand, what they're never taught, what keeps them locked in the same loop year after year. In the quantum field, time doesn't move forward in a straight line. It doesn't flow from past to present to future like we've been told. It folds, it loops, it converges, it exists all at once. Every version of you, the one you were 5 years ago, the one you are right now, the one you'll be 5 years from now, they all exist simultaneously in different frequencies, different timelines, different dimensions of possibility. And when you align with a higher timeline, when you tune your frequency to match the version of yourself that's already living your dream life, reality begins to reorganize itself around you. Not tomorrow, not next week, not when you finally get your life together. Now, your future self has been sending you signals for months, maybe years. The gut feelings you ignored, the dreams that felt too vivid to be just dreams, the random thoughts that sparked something electric in your chest, the sudden urges to change direction that you talked yourself out of because they didn't make logical sense. And today, you finally tuned in. Today, you finally answered the call. You felt it, haven't you? The sudden chills that run down your spine when you think about your purpose, when you dare to imagine the life you're truly meant to live. The goosebumps that appear out of nowhere when you hear a song that feels like it's written specifically for your soul, like someone reached into your heart and put the melody there. The déjà vu that stops you in your tracks and whispers, "I've been here before, I know this moment, this is important." Maybe you've experienced it in other ways too. You think of someone and they text you within minutes. You need an answer and a book falls off a shelf open to exactly the page you needed to read. You take a wrong turn and it leads you to exactly the right place. You meet a stranger who says the exact words you needed to hear at the exact moment you needed to hear them. These aren't random glitches in your perception. They're not your imagination playing tricks on you. They're not coincidences that mean nothing. They're breadcrumbs from your future self, markers left behind to guide you home to yourself. As you listen to this right now, you might feel a warmth spreading through your chest, radiating outward like sunlight breaking through clouds. A tingling at the back of your neck like someone's gently touching you, reminding you that you're not alone in this. A subtle pull in your gut, that deep knowing that lives beneath words, beneath logic, beneath everything you've been taught to trust. That's your signal. That's the confirmation you've been waiting for. Your body already knows what your mind is still learning. Your cells are vibrating with recognition. Your nervous system is recalibrating. Your energy field is expanding. The shift has begun. And you can feel it, can't you? Even if you can't quite name it. Even if it scares you a little. Even if part of you wants to dismiss it as nothing. You feel it. Here's the truth that science and spirituality are finally agreeing on. The bridge between ancient wisdom and quantum physics. Every thought you think is a vibration collapsing infinite possibilities into a single reality. Every emotion you feel sends a frequency into the field. Every belief you hold creates a filter through which reality must pass to reach you. Observation doesn't just witness creation, it is creation. The double-slit experiment proved it. When scientists observe a particle, it behaves like a particle. When they don't observe it, it behaves like a wave of infinite possibility. The act of observation literally collapses the wave function, forcing reality to choose. You are doing this every single moment of every single day. Your attention is creative force. Your focus is the brush that paints your reality. When you align your energy with a future outcome, you don't attract it from some distant place. You don't manifest it from nothing. You become it. You step into the timeline where it already exists, where it's been waiting for you to match its frequency. Your future self isn't ahead of you in some linear progression of time. They're inside you right now, vibrating at a frequency you're learning to match, whispering guidance you're learning to hear, pulling you toward choices that align with who you're meant to be. And the moment you see yourself as they do, the moment you recognize your own power, your own divinity, your own infinite nature, the quantum field responds. Synchronicities multiply faster than you can keep track of. Doors open that weren't there yesterday. People appear in your life at exactly the right moment with exactly the right message. Opportunities manifest out of nowhere, as if the universe suddenly remembered you exist. This isn't magic, it's mechanics. The universe is a mirror, and it's reflecting back the version of you you're choosing to embody. The frequency you're choosing to broadcast, the story you're choosing to tell yourself about who you are. Change the story, change the reflection. It's that simple. And it's that profound. From this point forward, nothing will feel random again. The shift has already started. The activation is already happening. The fact that you're here listening to these words, absorbing this transmission, is proof. You're going to start noticing patterns everywhere you look. Numbers repeating in ways that feel too consistent to be chance. 1111, 222, 333, 444. Strangers saying exactly what you needed to hear at exactly the moment you needed to hear it. Songs playing that speak directly to your current situation. Thoughts manifesting into reality faster than ever before, sometimes within hours, sometimes within minutes. This is your future self recalibrating your reality, adjusting the dials, fine-tuning the frequency, collapsing the distance between where you are and where you're meant to be. You're no longer on autopilot, sleepwalking through a life that doesn't fit. You're no longer drifting through days designed by other people's expectations, other people's fears, other people's limitations. You're stepping into your sovereign timeline, the one where you remember your power, where you trust your intuition above all else, where you stop waiting for permission from a world that was never going to give it to you anyway. Let this moment burn into your memory. Take a snapshot of how you feel right now, the clarity, the electricity, the knowing, because from here there's no going back to who you were. You can't unknow what you now know. You can't unsee what you've seen. You can't unfeel what you're feeling. You've crossed the threshold. You've passed through the portal. You've said yes to the version of yourself that's been calling you home, and your life will never be the same. The old patterns will start to feel uncomfortable, like clothes that don't fit anymore. The old relationships that were based on the old you will either evolve or dissolve. The old habits that kept you small will lose their grip, their power, their appeal. This might feel uncomfortable. It might feel like everything is falling apart. But it's not falling apart. It's falling into place. The universe is removing everything that doesn't match your new frequency, making space for everything that does. Trust the process. Trust the shift. Trust yourself. Things might get messy for a while. You might feel confused. You might doubt yourself. You might wonder if you made a mistake, if you imagined all of this, if you should just go back to the way things were. But you can't go back. And deep down, you don't want to. Because you've tasted truth. You've felt alignment. You've remembered what it feels like to be fully alive, fully present, fully yourself. And once you've tasted that, everything else feels like starvation. But here's the thing, and this is where most people get stuck. Your old self doesn't want to let go. You've been living on autopilot for so long that it feels normal. Repeating the same patterns, the same doubts, the same fears, the same limitations, the same conversations, the same reactions, the same outcomes. It's comfortable. It's familiar. It's known. Your nervous system is wired for survival, not evolution. And to your nervous system, familiar equals safe, even if familiar is also painful, even if familiar is also limiting, even if familiar is also slowly suffocating the truth of who you are. That version of you, the one who plays small, who doubts, who hesitates, who waits for the perfect moment that never comes. That's a loop. A program running in the background of your consciousness designed to keep you safe, small, predictable. It was installed when you were young, when you learned what was acceptable and what wasn't, what was rewarded and what was punished, what kept you loved and what risked rejection. You learned to be quiet when your voice was too loud. You learned to shrink when your presence was too much. You learned to dim your light when it made others uncomfortable. You learned to fit into boxes that were never designed for your shape. And it served you then. It protected you then. It kept you alive then. But it's not serving you anymore. The old identity is like a snake's skin that's too tight, a cocoon that's too small, a cage that was once shelter but is now prison. And your system knows it. That's why you feel restless. That's why nothing satisfies you anymore. That's why you keep searching for something more, something deeper, something truer. But here's the beautiful, powerful, liberating truth. Awareness is the first crack in the code. The fact that you're hearing this, the fact that you're recognizing the loop, the fact that you can see the pattern, that's the beginning of the end of its power over you. You can't change what you can't see. But once you see it, you can never not see it again. Your future self isn't waiting for you to be perfect. They're not waiting for you to have it all figured out. They're not waiting for you to fix every flaw and heal every wound and transcend every limitation. They're waiting for you to be willing to question the beliefs that kept you stuck in the same place for years. Willing to release the identity that no longer serves the life you're being called to live. Willing to trust the version of yourself you haven't met yet but have always known was there. Waiting beneath the conditioning, beneath the fear, beneath the story you told yourself about who you had to be loved. The old you served a purpose. They got you here. They survived when survival was all you could manage. They adapted when adaptation was all you knew how to do. Honor them, thank them, bless them, and let them go. Let them dissolve like morning mist when the sun rises. Let them fade like a dream when you wake up. Let them become part of your history, not your identity. Because who you're becoming requires space. And that space is currently occupied by who you've been. This is the death before the rebirth. The shedding before the emergence. The breaking before the breakthrough. And it's not comfortable. Growth never is. But comfort isn't why you're here. You're here because something inside you knows there's more. Something inside you refuses to settle. Something inside you remembers. So how do you seal this shift? How do you lock in the frequency of your future self? How do you make this more than just an inspiring moment that fades when you close this video and go back to your life? You embody it. Right now. In this moment. Not tomorrow. Not when you feel ready, not when circumstances align, now. Because your future self isn't a someday thing, they're a now thing. They exist in this moment, in this breath, in this choice. First, breathe with intention. I want you to close your eyes. Yes, right now, it's okay. This video will be here when you open them. Place one hand on your heart. Feel it beating. That rhythm is your connection to every version of yourself across every timeline. Now breathe in deeply through your nose. Slowly, deliberately. As you inhale, imagine golden light flooding your body. Light from your future self, your highest timeline, your most aligned reality. See it entering through the crown of your head, pouring down through your entire being, filling every cell, every atom, every space between spaces. This light carries information, codes, frequencies, everything you need to become who you're meant to be. It's upgrading your DNA, rewiring your neural pathways, recalibrating your energy field. Hold it for 4 counts. Feel it integrating, recalibrating, upgrading your entire system. Then exhale slowly through your mouth, releasing every doubt, every fear, every story that says you're not ready, not worthy, not enough. Watch that old energy leave your body like dark smoke, dissolving into nothing, transmuted by your intention. See it leaving through your feet, through your fingertips, through every pore. Watch it dissolve into the earth, return to source, neutralized. Do this 3 times. Let each breath be a death and a rebirth. Let each exhale release a version of yourself that no longer serves. Let each inhale welcome the version of yourself that does. With each cycle, feel yourself becoming lighter, clearer, more aligned. Feel the frequency shifting. Feel the timeline collapsing. Feel your future self merging with your present self until there's no separation anymore. You are them. They are you. It's happening right now. Second, speak your declaration. Words have power. Sound carries frequency. Your voice is a creative force that literally shapes reality. When you speak, you send vibrations out into the quantum field. Those vibrations interact with other vibrations, creating patterns, collapsing possibilities, manifesting outcomes. Say this out loud, not in your head. Out loud. Let your voice vibrate the words into existence. Let them move through the air. Let them rearrange the molecules around you. I align with the timeline where I am already whole. I release who I was. I claim who I am becoming. The shift is complete. Say it like you mean it. Say it like your life depends on it. Say it like your future self is listening, because they are. They're watching you with so much love, so much pride, so much joy. They're celebrating every ounce of courage it takes for you to say yes to yourself, to choose the unknown over the familiar, to trust the pull of your becoming over the comfort of your being. They remember this moment. This is the moment everything changed for them. This is the moment they always come back to in their memory. The moment you finally chose yourself, the moment you finally said yes, the moment you finally stepped into your power. Say it again, louder this time, with more conviction, with more certainty. I align with the timeline where I am already whole. I release who I was. I claim who I am becoming. The shift is complete. Feel the truth of those words landing in your body. Feel the frequency shifting. Feel reality reorganizing itself around this new declaration. Notice what happens in your body when you say these words. Does your chest open? Does your spine straighten? Does your breath deepen? Does something settle inside you? That's the shift happening in real time. That's your system recognizing truth. That's your future self saying yes, yes, yes. Third, write as your future self. This is one of the most powerful practices you can do. It bypasses the logical mind and taps directly into your intuition, your inner knowing, your connection to the version of yourself that's already living the life you dream of. Grab a journal, a notebook, even just a piece of paper. Put pen to paper, not fingers to keyboard. The physical act of writing by hand creates a different neural pathway, a deeper connection. At the top of the page, write, a message from my future self. Then start writing as if your future self, the you from 1 year, 3 years, 5 years ahead, is writing a letter to you today. What do they want you to know? What are they grateful you finally understood? What do they wish they could tell you? What do they see that you can't see yet? Let the words flow without editing, without judging, without thinking too hard. Let your hand move faster than your mind can keep up. Let the truth pour through you before your ego can filter it, before your doubt can censor it, before your fear can stop it. This is your future self speaking through you, reaching back across time, giving you the guidance, the permission, the encouragement you need to keep going. They know what you're going through right now. They remember the doubt, the fear, the uncertainty. They remember wondering if any of this was real, if they were just making it all up, if they should just give up and go back to normal. And they're here to tell you, keep going, it's real. You're not making it up. It gets better than you can imagine. You might be surprised by what comes through. You might cry, you might laugh. You might feel a deep sense of relief, like finally someone understands. That someone is you, the truest version of you. The version that's been waiting for you to remember, right until you feel complete. There's no right length. Sometimes it's a paragraph, sometimes it's pages. Trust your intuition. When you're done, read it back to yourself, out loud if possible. Let those words land. Let them sink in. Let them recalibrate your entire nervous system. This is your new operating system. This is your new truth. This is who you are now. Keep this letter somewhere you can see it. Read it every morning when you wake up. Read it every night before you sleep. Let it remind you of who you're becoming. Let it anchor you when doubt creeps in. Let it guide you when you're not sure which way to go. You are no longer waiting for change. You are the change. You are no longer hoping for a sign. You are the sign. You are no longer searching for permission. You are the permission. From this moment forward, you walk differently. Not because you're pretending or performing, but because you genuinely see yourself differently. The frequency has shifted. The identity has upgraded. The timeline has changed. You speak differently. Words that used to come out tentative now come out clear. Boundaries that used to feel impossible now feel natural. Truth that used to hide now flows freely. You choose differently. Opportunities that used to scare you now excite you. Relationships that used to drain you now either transform or end. Habits that used to control you now lose their grip. Because you've seen yourself through the eyes of your future self, and you can never unsee it. You've felt the frequency of your highest timeline, and you can never unfeel it. You've remembered who you really are beneath all the conditioning, and you can never forget it again. This is your activation. This is your remembering. This is your shift. And it's not something that might happen someday if you work hard enough. It's something that's happening right now, in this moment, as you integrate these words, as you feel this frequency, as you say yes to the truth of who you are. The universe has been waiting for this moment. Your future self has been waiting for this moment. Your highest timeline has been waiting for this moment. And now, it's here. Now you're here. Now you're ready. Now seal it, make it real, anchor it into physical reality. Comment below. I claim my timeline. Type those 4 words. Let your fingers move. Let your intention land. Let your declaration go out into the field. This isn't just engagement. This isn't just a comment. This is a quantum act. Those words anchor this moment. They vibrate into the quantum field. They declare to the universe, to your future self, to every version of you across every timeline, that you are no longer available for the old story. You're claiming something new, something true. something that's been waiting for you to finally say yes. So do it now. Comment "I claim my timeline" and feel the shift lock into place. Feel the click of recognition, feel the door opening. Feel the timeline collapsing into this moment. This is it. This is the moment. This is the shift. You're not becoming your future self. Let that sink in for a moment. You're not becoming them. You're remembering them. You're returning to them. You're recognizing them. Because the version of you that was never broken, never lost, never waiting for permission, they've been here all along. Underneath every fear, beneath every doubt, beyond every limitation you thought defined you, they've been there, patient and powerful, waiting for you to tune in, to wake up, to remember. They never left. You just forgot they were there. But now you remember. And now that you remember, everything changes. The way you see yourself changes. The way you see your circumstances changes. The way you see your past changes. Your present changes. Your future changes. Because you're no longer a victim of your story. You're the author of it, and you just picked up the pen. The shifts you experience from this point forward won't look like what you expect. They'll be subtle and profound. Quiet and earthquake level, internal and external. You'll notice yourself making different choices without trying, attracting different people without effort, experiencing different outcomes without force. Because you're operating from a different frequency now, and frequency determines reality. Your future self has been calling you home for so long. And today, you answered. Today, you said yes. Today you stepped through the portal, and there's no going back, nor would you want to. Because finally, you're becoming who you always were. Welcome home.